Alright guys, this is Zaxter99 again. And since the teaser from Sony about watching on February 20th here in about just under 3 weeks for the announcement of a widely speculated PlayStation 4, I did find some leaks of some pictures from the dev kit supposedly that leaked out. Now, whether these are legit, I have no idea. A lot of these pictures and information I did find on examiner.com. So you can, Google that yourself and kind of see what you see. But supposedly these are pictures from the leaks. The information on the specs obviously could change entirely between now and whenever the PS4 is to launch. But some of these pictures look pretty legit and make the PlayStation 4 look like it might be, something pretty nice. Let's go ahead and take a look. This is maybe these are images you've already seen, I don't know. But if not, I'd love to go ahead and share these with you. This supposedly is one of the first pictures of the PlayStation 4, a corner design with a corner loading system, and that has me pretty pumped. It looks pretty sexy. Here is another picture. See if I can blow this up for you here. And I mean, I could totally see the PlayStation 4 looking just like this. I mean, a top-down image. And like I said, supposedly these are what the devs, the developers, got in their dev kits to make some games. Now it looks like the Sony PlayStation 4 is going to support both Blu-ray and 3D Blu-ray, which will be nice. Kind of expected. Just more pictures. I think it looks pretty sleek. Now this is one image that I kind of got excited about when I saw it. I have never heard anything like this. But supposedly the PlayStation 4 is going to have what they call a DP Connect, which will allow you to basically um, show up to 6 different images. Okay, and you can play up to 6 players. And instead of splitting your screen up, one TV up into small sections, technically each player would be able to see their own full-size TV image. Now, obviously, this may not work for some people having 6 TVs or, would be pretty spendy. But hey, if you get 2 TVs and a PlayStation 4, that'd be pretty cool to have, each player on their own 42-inch TV or 50-inch TV or whatever. So, instead of splitting the screen, each player has their own image. So that's pretty cool. It says DP Connect allows the PS4 to connect to with your TV without cables, and you can connect up to 6 DP Connect TVs to your PS4. So cable free, um, and I guess it's just some kind of a remote since there are no wires connected. So that looks pretty darn cool. If this is true, I mean that's going to be a big selling point there for Sony PlayStation. And again, just some different angles. We've seen a lot of the angles already, but all these images are looking pretty much the same. So this could be exactly pretty close to what we uh, can expect the PlayStation 4 to look like whenever it launches. Here's an image of it next to a TV on a vertical stand. And this is images of a controller that's kind of odd, but kind of cool at the same time. It's almost like two Move controllers that are split, and you put them together, and it makes a controller, a single controller. So that looks like something that Sony would do for sure. There they are connected. And this is an image basically saying that there's different types of sensors inside that can basically tell how fast you're moving the gyro. Um, so multiple different sensors. So, it's basically going to sense. every direction, left and right, up and down. It's going to take an axis from how high up your controller is, um, how far away it is from the TV, left and right coordinates, and then basically, how you turn it. So that's a lot of different sensors going on inside that thing. That could definitely open up a lot of different possibilities for gaming besides just the buttons and the controller. So if this is all true, I mean, I can only imagine that's going to make a controller cost quite a bit of money. I mean, the ones currently are $50, $55. So I can only imagine how much a controller like this would cost. I would guess somewhere 100, maybe more. And here's looks like the same thing with just some wristbands going on. But I mean, it's pretty much the same controller as the DualShock 3. If this is true, it looks like just kind of a combination of their DualShock 3 and their Move controllers all in one. The one gripe I would have if they did go this route is, what if what if players don't like the Move, and they don't want to pay for that as all part of the one controller. Hopefully they could just buy a standard, one piece DualShock, 3 type controller, if they didn't want all this fancy stuff on there. So, again, this is a long way from launch, so this could just be, this could be BS. This could be, just ideas that they were throwing out there. I mean, who knows what this actually is? More information here about the PlayStation 4. Gives a little more information there. Something about the play res is enabled. The power access indicator turns yellow, and the play res is off after 5 minutes. It turns green. Vertical stand helps to break down the console. PlayStation 4 supports very high resolution 4K, 2K to play movies and games in 3D. It also supports Blu-ray Deuce, the second version that holds up to 3 times more data than traditional Blu-ray discs. So bigger, better games on one disc. I think Sony was already winning that department big time over the Xbox with their Blu-ray technology. Where a lot of games could be put on one Blu-ray disc, and Xbox had to put the same game on multiple, um, multiple discs. So, something about synchronize your profile with PlayStation app, your Sony Ericsson phone, follow your friends in real time, watch what they play, chat with them, etc. So that's pretty cool. And there we go, getting back to the first image. Now I have some. Um, let's just go ahead and blow this image up, just so we have an image here to drool over. And I have some specs here that are supposedly leaked. If this means anything to you, this is supposedly this is the PlayStation 3 specs that I found online on some website, and this is from the same website, Examiner. This is the supposed um, leaks of the PlayStation 4. So the Orbis contains 8 cores at 1.6 gigahertz, arranged in 2 clusters. Now, if you remember, the PlayStation 3 had a single core 3.2 gigahertz processor, but it was almost like mirrored 7 times. So it was almost like 7 different images were working together. So I don't know how. Um, I would imagine that 8 actual cores is going to blow away this, even though the speed is slower. Remember, technology has come a long way since 2006. So I can only imagine that this is going to be, 16, 32 times faster than the PlayStation 3 processor. Um, some of this stuff doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Maybe some of you guys can quote if these specs are correct, what some of this stuff actually means. But it doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I'm not, while I build computers and stuff like that, some of this stuff is just over my head. I do know what some of this, I mean, some of this stuff is pretty fancy. As far as the GPU is going to be AMD Southern Islands architecture. It's going to support DirectX 11.0, 11.1, 18 complete units, and 800 megahertz, 1.843 teraflops. That's a lot. and dual shader engines with 18 texture units. I mean, that sounds like a pretty sophisticated graphics processing unit, and it's obviously faster than the PS3 one, 800 megahertz compared to 550, and I'm sure it has a lot more advanced as far as shaders and rendering and textures and stuff like that. It's going to blow away what the PS3 had. So, I mean, the PS3 graphics are already pretty impressive when you look at new games today, such as Crysis 3 coming out and The Last of Us coming out. I mean, um, Far Cry 3 graphics, I mean, they're pretty impressive with some of the games coming out today. I can only imagine what the PlayStation 4 is going to do. Here's one thing where the PS4 is, if this is true, is, definitely going to clobber the PS3. The PS3 had 256 megabytes of main, random access memory. Um, you're going to have 4 gigabytes of memory and 176 gigabytes per second speed compared to 3.2. So the speed is, you know, 50 times faster or something like that. And then, you're talking about 4 gigabytes is roughly 16 times as much memory, with about most of that available to the games. Now, this says the PS4 will launch with a 500 gig hard drive, 3 controller inputs, new DualShock controller. Let's see here. Make this a little bigger. Dual camera and PlayStation Move, as well as a Blu-ray speed of 6 times the outer half with somewhere between 3.3 and 6 times the inner rings of the disc. The rest of the specs leaks can be found below. High-speed Blu-ray drive, single layer 25 gig or dual layer discs. So it sounds like basically can support Blu-rays that are 3D and have a lot more information on them than the PS3 Blu-ray discs. And really fast Ethernet connection, which, that's pretty much expected, I think. And that's what they're talking about, those pictures that we looked at, Evolve DualShock controller. And that's, if all that's true, that's pretty exciting for the PlayStation 4. It's going to be interesting to see how all this stuff comes together. Like I say, if these specs are true, and even if these specs are legit based on the dev kits right now, a lot of this stuff could change. It might even get better before the PlayStation 4 launches. Now, with technology like this on the PlayStation 4, the thing that surprises me is I know I've read rumors, maybe you have too, of them trying to get a PlayStation 4 at launch at like $300, $350, something like that. That ain't gonna happen. I can tell you that right now. If this PlayStation 4 is as powerful as some of these specs say that they will be, I think this is going to be at least a $500 machine, maybe even more spendy than the PlayStation 3. I can't imagine them losing that much money. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, like I say. But I don't see how they could possibly put out specs like that for under $500, especially at launch. But we'll see. But I just wanted to go ahead and share these pictures that I found with you. Uh, Maybe you've seen different pictures. If so, put some links in the comments, um, or point us out to where we can go to actually look at, the images that you found or the specs that you found, or if you got any comments on these specs and the information that I found, please leave it below, and feel free to rate my video and comment or subscribe if you want to. Anyway, pretty exciting news.